Good afternoon to all my wonderful viewers out there. Welcome back to a new series that we're actually starting today as requested by you guys, because you guys have been asking me to do like fit photos on Instagram, styling videos on YouTube. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna nail both and do them both today in a video. So what I'm gonna start is a new series called Street Style, where I will grab a piece of clothing, hoodie, a sweater, something like that, and give you a couple style choices that I like to use for certain pieces, and it might inspire you guys to come up with a new outfit idea. So in today's episode, I'm going to showcase to you 5 ways that I style, let's bring it over here, a sweater. Yeah guys, of course, right? Of course I had to choose one of the most hyped sweaters that I have in my whole wardrobe, but it is a black sweater, and I thought out of all the colors that everyone's going to have of sweaters, either female or male, everyone's going to have a black sweater, right? May it be a Converse one, a Nike one, an Adidas one, everyone's going to have a black sweater. Or people that don't have them, that's probably the easiest color that people will be able to find in almost any clothing store out there. So my aim for today is to present to you guys 5 ways to style a sweater that is pretty gender neutral. So regardless if you self-identify as a male, a female, or whatever, you can wear this in your way, and it'll all come down to your personal style. Some of the ways that I'll style it will appeal to you more, some won't, but that's why I'm doing 5 of them, so we have a little bit of variation so you guys can pick and choose which are your favorites and potentially try them out for yourselves and see how you like them and see if you want to incorporate it in your general style as well. Now I'm doing this video because, as I said, a lot of you guys have been asking for fit pics, styling videos, everything like that. So I thought, you know what? It's time. It's time for me to do that. Let's do it. So if you guys want me to keep doing styling videos or have a recommendation of a piece of clothing like hoodies, shirts, anything like that, I mean, let me know in that comment section below, and if I have that piece, if I have a piece like it, I can definitely do an episode on that particular piece as well. It shouldn't be a problem. Just let me know in that comment section below. Don't forget as well to subscribe to the channel, as we are trying to hit 2,500 subs by the end of June. I was about to say May, but it's June now. We're only, what is it, 5 days in, I'm already like, I'm still used to it being May. By the end of June, we're trying to hit 2.5k subs. I reckon we can do it. Help us out, fellas. Let's hit 2,500 subs by the end of June. But anyway, that's everything there. So what we'll do now is we'll head on over to style number 5, and I'll showcase it to you guys. Okay, so the first styling technique that I want to showcase to you guys isn't essentially revolving around the sweater. It's mainly revolving around what you're wearing underneath the sweater. So I think we've all had the trouble of wearing a sweater that has a huge neckline and wearing an undershirt underneath it, either a white tee, whatever, and the tee is showing underneath the sweater, but it is off-centered. It's not perfectly lining up with the sweater. It's peeking out of the sweater, and you're like, oh, how do I fix that? How do I make sure that the shirt completely matches the line of the actual sweater itself? That's not too hard. That's not too hard, and that's the first tip that I'm going to showcase to you guys. So if you want the shirt to always sit correctly on you without moving, I can literally move, pull it up, and then put it back down, and it instantly sits exactly where it's meant to. How am I doing that? Well, I'll just showcase it to you guys. So, having your shirt tucked in. Now, this allows for your shirt to sit correctly. Now, it doesn't work the best with the sweater that I'm showcasing to you guys, but if I put the sweater on, now when I put it on, there we go. As you can now see, the neckline actually perfectly comes in where the sweater is. If anything, it even covers it, but if I slightly peel it back, there, perfectly lines up with the sweater because I've tucked in my shirt, and that allows it to perfectly line up. Even if I like lift the sweater up, move it around, if I pull the sweater back down, perfectly lines up. This can be really good for sweaters with huge holes on it, and you just want the shirt to line up. The best way to do that is literally tuck your shirt into your jeans, into whatever pants you're wearing, and it allows the sweater to perfectly sit on top of the shirt. Now this obviously isn't hugely affected by this sweater because this one has a really small neckline, but with ones that have big necklines, I'll just get one for us. This DKNY one that I have, this one has a huge neckline, and if I was to do that same technique with what I did with this sweater, it will perfectly sit underneath it and it won't move around, it won't look scrunched up, it'll look nice and tight. It's exactly what you want. That's what I would do to wear it. I would tuck my shirt in underneath, and that will allow me to style the sweater and have it match up perfectly around my neck. Seriously, it's all in the little details with a lot of outfits. It really comes down to that. So for the first tip, I'm just gonna say, tuck your shirt in, put the sweater over the top, and it allows the neckline to seamlessly, look, you can't even tell that I have a shirt on underneath, literally at all. And it's almost the case with a lot of other sweaters as well, unless the neckline of like your sweater is like huge. I'm talking like down to your shoulder to here. Then it gets a little bit tricky, but with most sweaters, it will work out, and it actually helps, I find, with V-neck sweaters a lot. But that is my 5th tip. My first tip, seriously, tuck in your shirt. It literally works and can save an outfit and make it look really, really good. Now, the 4th styling tip that I'm going to recommend to you guys, I nickname the accessories styling choice. So maybe you've bought an expensive, bougie luxury belt and you want to showcase it to you. It's got a nice buckle on it, but you also want to wear a nice sweater, and you're like, but the sweater, it's too long. It covers the belt buckle. What was the point of buying that luxury belt that you can't show off anymore? Well, this is when this one, or at least this styling technique, comes into play and actually helps really well if you want to, show off that new designer belt that you actually just bought. So I call this the accessories one because it showcases all your accessories. Now, I'm not actually wearing a designer belt or anything special, but what I've got is just a normal leather belt, and I've tucked only the front. As you can see when I turn around, the rest of the sweater is still being showcased, but most of the front, except for where the pockets are, have been tucked in. It looks a bit ridiculous on the Supreme one, but it works really well with knit sweaters and just long sweaters in general. The Supreme one isn't as long as I'd want it to be, but if you want to showcase that new designer belt that you got, this is the best way to do it. I always find, because a belt has a metal accessory most of the time on the actual piece, I always find comboing the actual sweater with a ring, maybe you want to spice it up with a couple more, it works well because it's metal on the fingers matching up with metal at the waist, and it just looks really, really well. Looks really, really good. If you match a silver belt buckle with silver details on the fingers, or a silver necklace, I feel like this fit works really, really well. And then you can wear it like this. Bam, bam, there you go. Bunch of styling options there. You can wear it with the most amount of accessories you have possible: a necklace, earrings, rings, bracelets, everything. You could do it that way, or you could just keep it a little bit more toned down, wear the designer bougie belt that you got with some rings. You could do it that way as well. That's another option there. You can literally mix it up. This styling technique works really well with accessories. So if you want to showcase accessories in the fit and you really want to wear a sweater with it, that's how I would do it. Just tuck the front of the sweater into your jeans, whatever you're wearing. It gives a bit of a e-boy, e-girl kind of look, but it really does showcase accessories really well. They don't even have to be expensive accessories to be showcased. You can, these rings cost me like $6 each from my local market. It doesn't show them off, but it really brings attention to the accessories because you see this shiny silver belt buckle, as you can see there, and it matches with the accessories as well. That's what I think. I think it works really, really well, and for me, that's going to be styling option number 4. Now, next, maybe you've got an oversized sweater and you like it, but you honestly wanted the hoodie version. You were stuck with buying the cheaper sweater version instead of the hooded sweater version, and you kind of want a hoodie. Or you like the piece, like the Supreme Box logo black crewneck sweater, but you kind of feel like it's a little bit boring when it just cuts off at the neckline, and you kind of want a hoodie involved. Well, what we're going to do in styling option number 3 is include essentially that missing piece. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put on I'm going to put on another Supreme hoodie that I own, one that has graphics on the side here. And then what we'll do once I put this on, which just give me a moment here. Okay, there, we've got the hoodie on. Then this one, you may not agree with it, you may not like it, but I think this is a really good way of doing it. Put the hoodie over the top of your head, grab the sweater, and then this is where it comes into play. This is going to look ridiculous trying to fix up initially, but it should work quite nicely. Okay. I've just got to fix these layers up. Okay, there we go. Bam. Pull the drawstrings out. There you go. Now this one, it's not incorporated enough, to be honest. I think a lot more people should definitely wear this style. It's a little bit harder and it's a little bit warmer, but there you go. You now have an extra layer. Oh, look at that. It looks like a totally different piece. It doesn't even look like I'm wearing a sweater. It looks like I'm wearing a hoodie that just transitions into a white hood at the top. And now I've got some graphics on it. Does that not look sick? Does that not look awesome? I think that looks sick. It works really, really well. You can even do a black hoodie with a black sweater and then it just looks like a black hoodie. It works with extra layers because if the sweater's not warm enough and you want it to be a little bit warmer, you can wear the hoodie underneath and then wear the sweater over the top, and it adds that extra layer. Keeps you warm in winter. And also, layering is just the best. Am I right? So yeah, that's going to be styling option number 3. I'll just showcase it to you standing up. So that's what it looks like at a distance. Bam, bam, bam. It looks really good. It works really well. As I said, not a lot of people get around the whole putting a hoodie underneath a sweater. They think it looks a little bit weird, but I honestly think, like, look at that. I think that just works really, really well, and it looks really seamless. That's going to be my styling option number 3. We'll now move on to option number 2. Now, again, maybe you're like, oh, I love this sweater, but it's not warm enough, and it kind of feels a bit plain. It's not complemented by anything. I don't like it as being the outer layer in my outfit. Totally fine. What you can do is then style it with a varsity jacket, a bomber jacket, anything like that. And I will use this vintage Guess one I picked up from Throwback Vault to showcase that to you guys. So maybe you like how the sweater sits there, and maybe you just want to add an extra layer to it just to make it a little bit better looking there. Here we go. Adding that extra layer. Look at that. I think this is a super steezy outfit. Showcases everything you need. There we go. If you want to just add an extra layer to the sweater, that's the best way about doing it. It works really well with streetwear outfits. It looks really sick. And I think the jacket actually complements the actual sweater. What I try and do is I try and find a jacket that's the same color or tone as the actual sweater that I'm wearing. So if you have a dark colored sweater, get a dark colored jacket. It doesn't have to match. They don't have to be black and black. It can be a navy dark green. An army green, a dark army green with a dark jacket, a dark navy blue sweater with a dark jacket. The tones just have to match up. That's the key thing. So you wouldn't want a light sweater, I mean, ignoring that this is a hoodie, but you wouldn't want a light sweater with a dark jacket because it's too much contrast. I mean, you could get it to work, but ideally I want it to seamlessly blend together so then it doesn't look like I'm wearing, so it's not too obvious, so it doesn't contrast as much. I like it a lot better like this, having it kind of match together. It looks kind of seamless. I think this is a steezy looking outfit. The only pop of color is the leather on the sleeves here, but honestly, that's it. I think this is a really seamless way to do it. Varsity jackets, bomber jackets, you guys know how much I praise varsity and bombers. This is why. Look at it. It works so well with crew necks, with any sweater, and also just hoodies as well. They're just the best jackets. Get yourself a varsity jacket or a bomber jacket. It's the way to go. It's really, really sick. That was my, what was it? Second styling option? Yeah, second styling option there. We'll move on to our final styling option, and I'll showcase that to you guys as well. Now, my final style recommendation for this video, this one requires a piece that I would say it's probably the hardest to style with proportions. So the piece that I'm talking about in particular is trench coats. What we're going to work with the sweater today is a trench coat for our final styling option. Now, trench coats are really, really good. The problem is that it's hard to work with some proportions, some people's body proportions. You know, some people are larger, some people are thinner. You've just got to keep shopping around until you find the trench coat that works the best for you, because some, they might be too big and it looks like you're covered in a blanket instead of a coat. Some of them are too small and you look like you're bulging out of it. You just need to find that perfect fit and shop around until you find the one that complements your body type, because anyone can wear a trench coat. You just got to find the right one for you. But also, on top of that, when you're styling a sweater with a trench coat, you want to style it with a trench coat that, again, doesn't have to match in color, but matches in tone. And what I have behind me are two trench coats, of one of a lighter tone, one of a darker tone, and I'll showcase now what I mean. Okay, so up first we have a vintage YSL trench coat that I picked up off of it was Files Vintage. They're a really good place to pick up designer vintage. Now this one, it works, don't get me wrong. I've done the whole tucking the sweater into my front there just to make it work there with the to split up my body. So this is the chest, this is the legs, and this is the trench coat. It really gets showcased when you tuck the sweater in to your trousers there. It works really, really well. Now, my issue with this is that all your attention is being brought to the overcoat, because it is the lightest piece in my outfit here. It stands out. That's really good if you want to do that. As I said, this outfit still works. If you want to show off this trench coat, this is the best way to go about it. Wearing darker tones underneath and then showcasing it here. But honestly, I think this trench coat here would work better with, example, this, if I can get it out, pause sweater here. And I'll just showcase, if I can, what I mean by that. So if I grab the pause sweater here, put it underneath the trench, hold it around, there we go. I think something like that works a lot better with the trench because the colors are light together. Now the gray sweater is a little bit lighter than what I would want it to be, but I think these colors match up a lot better when you do it that way. Instead of having a full dark outfit, grabbing a sweater, because this is a sweater here, that matches the overall tone of the actual trench coat, works better. So that is the lighter trench coat that I was going to showcase to you guys. The next one is the darker one that I have. So this is the darker one that I'm going to wear into the outfit more. Now this one, because it's darker and also a little bit more military inspired, so okay, there we go. See how this one works? It works with the overall tone of the outfit. It's darker. You don't pay as much attention to it because it's not as eye-popping. It just works with the whole outfit, and it just works like that. There you go. Bam. Trench coats work really well. I generally style them and wear them like this with my hands in my pockets, because if you have them brooding over, it covers it. You don't. What am I wearing underneath? You don't know. What you want is to pull it back, wear it like that. And I like it like this. But wearing a darker one with a darker underpieces seamlessly blends it together to work with the colors. If I was to wear something lighter, it shows off the trench coat, but maybe I don't want it to show off the trench coat. Maybe I just want it to work all together like this. This is how I would wear it. I would wear all dark with all dark. So nothing pops out. It all just kind of blends together really nicely. This is how I would wear it. And that's what I'm basically showcasing to you guys. It all comes down to the color of the trench coat and how it works. But I think it just works really well when you get tones that match together. Anyway, that is my final styling tip for how to style a sweater, involving different pieces, involving different techniques, either with the tucked in shirt or the tucked in sweater itself. Those are my 5 styling tips. I can do a part 2 if you'd like, but I'd have to think of 5 more styling tips. But those are 5 ways that I style a sweater, and I thought you guys might be interested in that. Whew. A little bit hot after moving all those big trench coats and clothes around and everything like that. But that is 5 ways that I would style a sweater. Hopefully one of the 5, or maybe even 2 of the 5, actually appealed to you and made you consider picking up things like trench coats, varsity jackets, hoodies if you don't own them, things like that. I tried to showcase different styles for different aesthetics in those 5 there, because some people might not like the trench coat vibe, but some people might be really, drawn to the hoodie one where I had the hoodie underneath. Some people might just be drawn to having the sweater tucked in at the front. That's why I wanted to do multiple different ones, just because it'll appeal to different people. But I want to hear from you guys. Which way is your favorite way to wear the sweater? Or do you just like wearing it as it is, by itself? That's totally fine. Honestly, wear it as you want to wear it. But I just thought I'd give you guys some little insights on how I would wear a sweater, and maybe some alternate styling options that you might want to try out. But definitely let me know in that comment section below which one's your favorite and which one you do the most. And if you guys want me to keep covering, ways I style pieces of clothing and stuff like that, don't forget to leave this video a big old like, a comment in the comment section down below, and a subscribe to the channel, as we are trying to aim for 2,500 subs by the end of June. I know we're only 5 days in, but it's like 200 and something subs, guys. So, we might be able to do it, but that's our goal. Hopefully we can hit it. Come help the channel out, guys. Give this video a like, give this channel a subscribe, and help us out hitting that milestone. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that has been subscribing recently, and everyone that's been liking, commenting, and watching the videos up until this point. You guys are wonderful. It all comes down to you guys supporting the channel, so thank you so much to everyone that does. But that's it. That is 5 ways to style a sweater, from my personal perspective. So until the next street styling video, until the next streetwear talk video, until the next unboxing video, guys, I'll catch you later.